Alright guys, what's going on? It's your boy MP Pair Source coming at you guys again with a double Tuesdays with Tincho this week. Just because there was so much going on in the qualifiers, I just had to make two videos because I just have a lot to say. You know what I mean? So, unfortunately for a lot of us, the US just, it's in the past. We're not even going to talk about it, right? Whatever. There was so much going on yesterday in all these qualifiers. So many teams qualified, so many teams were left, so many teams went into the playoff game. So I'm going to try to cover it up in as quick as possible, right? But there's just so much to say. I'm going to do my best to sum it up in a couple of minutes, so bear with me. Alright, so let's start in the CONCACAF real quick. So shout out Panama for making it to the first World Cup ever. Last time they were undeservingly just kicked out in the last minute by the US, so shouts out to them for making it. Huge thing for Central America, potentially have 3 teams in the World Cup. That would be great for them. Shout out to all my Central Americans, right? Mexico still hasn't convinced me yet. I don't know how well they're going to do in the World Cup. It all depends who their manager is. But, the last couple of minutes against Honduras really put a big question mark for me. Other than that, man, I've really been impressed by Costa Rica throughout the entire qualification process. I know that they lost yesterday, but throughout the entire process, I thought they were really one of the most dominant teams, if not the most dominant team throughout the course of it. Right, they got unlucky in a couple of games here and there, but I was really impressed by them. I'm really excited to see what they're going to do in the World Cup. Right, Honduras, miracles do happen. It was crazy for them. I'm so excited to potentially have them in the World Cup. South America, right, one of the craziest days of qualifiers I had ever seen in my life. Right, Messi literally carried the team on his back. Again, I say this again time and time again. Only players like Messi and Cristiano can take mediocre teams to the World Cup, and Messi showed it yesterday. Argentina underperformed the entire qualification process. If it wasn't for a guy like Messi, they would have missed out, and I would have completely understood, right? I feel bad for Chile. I really wanted to see Chile in the World Cup. Despite them beating Argentina time and time again, I was looking forward to seeing them in the World Cup. I was looking forward to see Alexis and Vidal and Eduardo Vargas in the World Cup. It's unfortunate that they weren't able to make it, but that's how the game goes. They lost in dramatic fashion, and I knew that going into Brazil was going to be a tough game for them. I really hope Peru goes to the World Cup too, because it's a team that hasn't made it to the World Cup in years as well. So as always, I'm cheering for those teams a little bit more, just because the fans and the country overall deserve to have a team in the World Cup. I think that the last couple of games they've done really good. They took advantage of Chile and Argentina's meltdowns, and they put themselves in a really good position. I think that they should be able to win and qualify to the World Cup, but we'll see. Unfortunate for Chile again, just because, they have the team. They just were unfocused. The same thing that happened with Argentina for them. They lost critical points. And unfortunately for them, they didn't have a Messi to put the team on the back and take them to the World Cup. So it's disappointing not to see Chile in there. But again, they've lost too many games or dropped too many points against small teams that, do they really deserve to be there? For me, the African qualifiers are super unfair because of the way that they're set up. Right, only the group winner goes to the World Cup, and I think it's really unfair because sometimes you see that teams get paired up with really good teams, and it's just unfortunate that only one of them can make it. Egypt, the way that Egypt qualified to the World Cup, that one's insane. It gave me the chills, and shout out to all the Egypt fans out there that haven't made it to a World Cup since 1990, so that's super exciting to see. I'm disappointed that Ghana and Cameroon were able to make it, but that's how the qualifiers go. Man, I mean, in Europe, we kind of knew who was going and who wasn't going, but shout out to Iceland for making it. I think they're going to be really exciting to watch. They had a really good Euro. The fans were crazy. I think they're going to bring a whole lot of spirit to the World Cup, so I'm really looking forward to that. But for the most part, there's a lot of teams that I still have a lot of question marks for, that I don't know how they're going to react. I don't know how they're going to play in the World Cup. One of them being England. I've got a lot of question marks in that English side. So, I mean, it all depends who they get in the World Cup. I'm excited to see the new look Spain, the new Isco-driven Spain. I think that they're going to be one of the contenders going forward. I'm kind of excited to see Poland. Excited to see Lewandowski in the World Cup. The Asian qualifiers are very difficult too because there's many rounds to the qualification process. So a lot of the teams that we're used to seeing consistently just happen to miss out year after year. But this year Saudi Arabia is back. Iran's back. So I'm really excited to see what they bring to the table, because a lot of these Asian teams they're slept on a lot of the times, just because a lot of people aren't able to watch them because of the time difference, because they're not usually televised. But some of these teams have really talented players that just don't get that spotlight. So I'm really excited to seeing them. So if your team is able to make it to the World Cup, shouts out to you guys. I hope you guys are excited as I am. If your team didn't make it, still watch the World Cup, dude. It's one of a kind. It's the greatest sporting event in the world. Alright guys, so that was part 2 of Tuesdays with Tincho. Just a little recap of all my thoughts of the entire World Cup process. I hope you guys are excited about it as I am. It was crazy yesterday. I hope the intensity keeps going for the playoffs. And, I can't wait for the World Cup to happen. If you guys liked the video, don't forget to like, share, subscribe. Tell your roommate, tell your mailman, tell the guy that works at the liquor store across the street from you. Tell your grandparents, even if they don't have a Facebook. Spread the word around, guys. And I hope, be on the lookout for a new video next week. If you guys have something you guys want to tell me, like if you guys disagree with me, or if you guys want to, add to it, feel free to reach out to me either on Twitter or Instagram, or comment below. Be on the lookout for a new video. Alright guys, we'll see you guys next week.